Have you ever wondered how your computer performs complex calculations effectively, or knows what type of data it's dealing with? Welcome to another exciting lesson in our beginner Python course. In this video, we'll dive into the fascinating world of data types in Python and show you how to manipulate variables using them. By understanding how to manipulate variables with data types, you'll be able to write more efficient, error-free, and powerful code. So, get ready to unlock your programming potential as we explore this essential building block together. Let's create a new Python file. In your PyCharm IDE, right-click on the project folder and select New. Then, Python file. Name it datatypes.py and press Enter. Now, let's imagine you are developing an app for a fitness club and you need to store the personal details of each member. To accomplish this, you need to create a set of variables to store different aspects of the member's profile. Let's begin with the first name. I'll write a comment first, and I'll create a variable first name and assign a value John. It is important to note that when storing text or names in a variable, we use quotation marks, either double or single. In Python, this type of data is referred to as a string, or str for short. As a Python developer, understanding data types is crucial for ensuring accuracy and efficiency in your code. Next, let's create a last name variable, and I want you to guess the data type. So, we write last name equals do. If you said this is a string, then you are right. This is also a string or str. Let's create another variable for the member's age. So we'll say age equals 28. Notice that this time we are storing a number and not text or string. So guess what data type is used here? This data type is called an integer or int in Python. Integers do not require quotation marks. Let's create a gender variable for this member. So gender equals male. This is also a string. But what if we change the value from male to M? What data type will it be? It is still a string. How about we change it to single quotes F? What data type is it now? This is also a string. In Python, any value in quotes, whether single or double quotes, is a string. So far, we have learned about two data types in Python, str and int. Now let's create two more variables using a different data type. Let's say height equals 1.75 and weight equals 70.5. This time, the data type is neither str nor int. It is called a float. In Python, any number with decimals has a data type of float, since it is a floating point number. Now let's store the member's phone number. So we'll create a variable phone number equals quotes 123-456-7890. This phone number is wrapped in double quotes, so it's a string. It's best to store phone numbers as strings because they come with other characters like hyphens, plus signs, and sometimes begin with a 0. Lastly, let's look at another data type that might get you thinking. Let's create a variable for the member's marital status. So we'll create a variable like this. Is underscore married equals true. This is a special data type in most programming languages. It is called the Boolean data type, named after the inventor George Boole in the 19th century. In Python, it is simply called bool. Bool or Boolean is used for true or false values or yes or no values. In the computer's memory, true is represented by the binary digit 1 and false is represented by the binary digit 0. In this lesson, we have covered 4 data types in Python: str, int, float, and bool. There are other data types in Python, such as list, tuple, set, and dictionary. but we'll cover those later in the course. At this point, I want to draw your attention to something important. Notice how I named my variables. As a good Python developer, it is important to use descriptive variable names for easy readability. Avoid using shorthand abbreviations like FN for first name or G for gender, because it can make it difficult for someone else to read your code and understand it. Let me undo. Secondly, it is recommended to use lowercase letters for your variable names. If a variable name contains multiple words like phone, number, then use underscore to separate them. This is the recommended naming convention for Python variables. Now, let's do something interesting with the members' information. Let's generate a membership card by printing the members' details. First, let's convert this height from meters to feet and inches, and then convert this weight from kilograms to pounds. Let me write a comment. Convert height to feet. To correctly convert the height to feet, we need to multiply the existing height by 3.281. So let me create a new variable, height underscore feet is equal to height times 3.281. Excellent. The resulting value of this calculation will have decimals. So what we want to do is to strip the decimals away and convert the decimals to inches. To remove the decimals, we'll use the int function to convert it from a float to an integer data type. So let's create a new variable for this calculation. We'll call it height underscore feet underscore int. Then equals to the int function in parentheses, then height feet. What this will do is that the height feet variable we created over here is being wrapped in an int function, which will strip away all the decimals and then store the whole number in this variable called height feet int. Now that we have the height in feet as a whole number, let's extract the remaining decimals and convert them to inches. Let me write a comment. Let's create a new variable to extract the decimals. So we'll call it height underscore decimals. The entire height in feet minus height feet int. As we already know, this height feet has the entire height together with the decimals. And this height feet int only has the height as a whole number. So when we subtract the whole number from the entire height, the remaining decimals will be stored in this new variable. And now to correctly convert the decimals to inches, we need to multiply it by 12. So let's create a new variable, height underscore inches, and say equal to height underscore decimals times 12. This will convert the remaining decimals to inches. Excellent. Now let's convert the weight from kilograms to pounds. Let me write a comment. To correctly convert the weight to pounds, we need to multiply the existing weight by 2.205. Let's store that in a new variable called weight underscore pounds. It's equal to weight times 2.205. Finally, let's print the membership card and display the members' details. Let me write a comment. Alright, let's use a print function. Type print, open parenthesis, double quote. This time I'm going to add some decorations to the membership card. So watch what I'll do. I'll use a pipe or the vertical bar and use several dashes here, dash, 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 several of them, and then bring another vertical bar here. Move to the next line, write another print, open parenthesis, double quote, vertical bar, and I will use space, 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 and membership card. Then space, 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 space again, and pipe, which is the same as a vertical bar. I want to repeat the lines up here at the bottom So I'll just copy this line, right click and copy, click here, right click and paste, enter. Let me use another print function, open parenthesis, double quotes, and the vertical bar again, space, and then name, colon, out of the quote, comma, space, first name, tab, comma, space, last name. That's all. Next line, print, double quotes, pipe, space, age, colon, out of the quotes, comma, space, age. That's all. Next, print, pipe, space, gender, colon, comma, space, gender. That's all. Now let me print the height and weight. So height first, print, double quotes, pipe, space, height, colon, out of the quotes, then comma, height, comma, space, double quote, meters. So the original height is in meters. Let me create parentheses here and provide the height in feet and inches. So out of the quote, comma, space, height in feet, int. I want the whole number, so I'll use the int version, comma, space, feet, out of the quotes, comma, then height in inches, comma, space, double quote, inches, and then close parenthesis. This is the same parenthesis I opened over here. All right, so now let's provide the weight. So print, double quote, pipe, space, weight, colon, out of the quote, comma, space. Then we have weight itself, comma, space, double quote, kg, space, open parenthesis, out of the double quote, comma, then the weight in pounds. So weight, pounds, comma, double quote, pounds, close parenthesis. And then next line, let me end it with a decoration at the bottom. So I'll come here and highlight this line and copy, Ctrl C on your keyboard, click here, Ctrl V on your keyboard. So I've pasted it right here. Let me come up here and add a phone number. So print, double quote, pipe, space, phone, colon, comma, then phone number. Excellent. Now let's run our program and see the final output. So I right click, run data types, and this is our membership card. Since we have the height in feet and some inches, let me just clear the decimals here and do same for the pounds here. Let's go back to the program. To clear the decimals, let's locate the variable. It is this variable right here, and wrap it in an int function. So we'll write int, open parenthesis. Let's come here and close parenthesis. Weight in pounds, let's do the same. Int, open parenthesis, and close parenthesis. So what we are doing here is that we are converting it from a float to an integer, and this will strip away the decimals. Let's run the program again. So right click, run data types, and voila, this is our membership card. You can see that the height is nicely converted from meters into feet and inches, and then the weight is also converted into pounds. Beautiful. To conclude this lesson, let's take a moment and look at using comments in Python. Comments are used to explain the purpose, behavior, and usage of the code to other developers or your future self. They help make the code more readable and understandable, especially for complex and long programs. Comments are ignored by the Python interpreter and are not executed as part of the program. There are two types of comments in Python: single-line comments and multi-line comments. Single-line comments start with a hash symbol. For example, hash space, this is a comment. And they are used to write comments on a single line, just as we've done up here. This entire line is a comment. You can also create several single-line comments on multiple lines. For example, I can come here and say hash, this is also a comment. Hash, this is a comment as well. However, there is a special way of creating multi-line comments in Python. Multi-line comments, also known as block comments, are used to comment on multiple lines. In Python, they start and end with 3 double quotes and can span several lines. For example, let's create one here. So we'll provide 3 double quotes, 1, 2, 3, enter. This becomes the beginning of the multi-line comment, and this becomes the end. In between here, we can provide several comments as we wish. On the first line, I can type, this is a multi-line comment. It can span several lines. Whatever comes in here is a comment. As you can see, whatever comes in between the 3 double quotes is a comment. Finally, comments can be used to temporarily disable code without deleting it, which can be helpful during testing or debugging. For example, let's scroll up a little bit. And over here, instead of converting the height to feet, let's put a hash symbol here. And automatically, we have disabled the code. Let's disable this code as well. And so you can go ahead and disable several codes. By providing the hash symbol, you have turned all these codes into comments. To reactivate the code, just remove the hash symbols and they'll be reactivated. Excellent. You can also use a multi-line comment to disable a whole block of code at once. It is important to note that while comments are useful for explaining code, too many comments can also clutter the code and make it harder to read. Therefore, it is best to use comments sparingly and only when necessary. It's been fun exploring the 4 basic data types in Python: stir, int, float, and bool. I'm glad to be on this learning journey with you. Together, we'll discover even more incredible things that we can accomplish with Python in the next lesson. I can't wait to share this knowledge with you in the next video. If you encountered any errors, don't hesitate to share them in the comment section below. I'm always ready to assist you. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.